Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the weekly recap. And I got a surprise for you. It's not just me, but I also have Lou. And Lou, I got one question for you. Would you rather get audited by the IRS, buy Apple's 2K new foldable iPhone, or spend eternity in a crab-shaped coffin?
Matt, I'm buying the iPhone. I'm going to the Apple store this week. I want to pick up that new slim phone.
All right, so let's start there. Let me ask you this, Lou. Apple is following another trend, but they've never really been known to be innovators. They've always followed what works and actually made the ideas better. What's your thoughts there?
Matt, Apple just followed the old adage. Imitation is the greatest form of flattery, right? Samsung has been scrapping away for decades, and all of a sudden Apple comes in and says, you know what? That foldable phone looks kind of cool. Let me try that.
Well, you know what? They've been doing it for years. I think Steve Jobs' favorite quote was, good artists copy and great artists steal.
I think the term is called zucking.
No, he just buys everybody out. Talking about buyouts, do you see what's going on in the banking world?
Matt, the banking world has been ripe for consolidation for the last decade. The problem is Washington hasn't realized it. Suddenly, they've got a very friendly White House that likes to play hungry hippo with banking. So it's going to be a fun next quarter or so.
Well, let's see. They're saying over $100 billion in banking mergers and acquisitions in the forthcoming years.
Wow, looks like you're going to break your piggy bank.
Well, I mean, if you look at the deal that just really happened with Capital One and Discover, that was a $35 billion deal, making them the largest U.S. credit card issuer and the sixth largest bank in the nation.
Matt, let's talk about consolidations technically, right? Because everyone looks at consolidations and they think big brother, big bank. It's not. What it is the classic 1 + 1 = 3. You create efficiencies, you create economies of scale. So growth for the sake of growth is not ideal. But growth, when it achieves economies of scale, the consumer always benefits.
I definitely disagree with you there, right? If I'm used to going to my small town bank and I know Jim, the manager, for years, me and him are in the Rotary Club together. When I need a loan done, he'll get it done for me. But once you get gobbled up by corporate America, Jim no longer has the pull that he used to have, and my loan gets denied.
I agree. And if you have that bicycle shop that is humble and you need a line of credit, your buddy can probably help you out. But if you have multiple locations, that regional bank does have its limitations.
Listen, the only thing I see good about big banking is the technology that's behind it, because the small banks and credit unions today, well, they're definitely lagging in technology. They need an upgrade. But
hey, Matt, let me give you a little secret. You and I bank at Chase. Chase has the worst ever customer service on the planet. However,
tell me about it.
Supreme. So that's why we use them, right? You could send wires, you could send ACHs. They're amazing.
Well, listen, all the banks getting consolidated in the US, it's going to lead us to somewhere like Canada, where there's only 5 or 6 different banking institutions. But you know what else Canada has?
Hockey?
Apples.
Didn't see that coming, buddy.
In 1795, there was a farmer named John McIntosh. Do you know about
Sounds
this?
familiar.
Now, I'm not talking about the Apple Macintosh computer. I'm talking about, the one you bite into and you eat. People forget about these days.
Yep.
He started selling these apples and they were going off like hotcakes. Somebody brought them below the border, and now we're in the generation of new crossbred apples. Did you know that?
Have you ever seen an apple at one of these grocery stores with a dent or a blemish? They're all perfectly round and shiny, right? I think technology has won up on Mother Nature.
Well, the funny thing is there's actually, from the farmers, there's clubs that go out and buy different apples and give them brand names. Now, look, we all may know Red Delicious and Macintosh, right? But have you ever heard of Jazz, Ambrosia, and Sweet Tango?
I should. I live in the Big Apple.
Well, even if you didn't, the supermarket chains definitely have, because they make no money on Red Delicious or Macintosh apples. It's these new AI apples. They're kind of genetically modified, but supermarkets love them because they make more money on them.
I'm all for perfect fruit. We like them big and round and perfect.
I like them big, round, and juicy. Now, let's move on from genetically modified apples. I can't even believe that's a thing, but let's talk about what's really in the ground. Rare earth minerals, right? And how China's leading the race.
Are they really rare? I mean, aren't there these big yellow steel machines digging them up all day long? Are they really rare?
You know what it is? That they're not really rare. You just can't find a lot of them in one place. So having big deposits of them all around the world is rare to find.
So we need friends in Australia.
Well, we have some in Ukraine thanks to Donald J. Trump and the deal we just met there, because China is actually winning this race. right now. They've acquired the land rights to over 40% of the rare earths on Earth.
You know, all of a sudden, big government has created a sovereign wealth fund. They're investing in MP materials. They're investing in Intel. All of a sudden, the White House has become a ETF.
Yeah, you know what? A few decades too late. We should have did this years ago, and we should have been invested in Google, and we should have stopped giving out grants and ERC tax credits to companies and actually taken a stake with them. And maybe guys like me and you that actually pay our taxes would get something out of it.
You had to go political.
Well, from Earth, let's move on to space. SpaceX actually inked a deal with EchoStar. It's a $17 billion agreement so they can start transmitting and actually have a cell phone service. You think they're going to beat out T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T?
Man, I can't predict the future, but I got to tell you, this guy, Musk, he's like Midas. Everything he touches turns to gold.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't bet against him.
So what's the play there?
The play there is 5G, just like the VCR, is now diminished.
So what's that little note on my cell phone going to say? It's going to say eco?
No, maybe it'll show you where the satellite's at in orbit. I have no clue.
It's news from around the web.
Oh my God. Lou, you can't even make this shit up. The wetsuit bandit, they're calling it. A guy actually put on a scuba suit, a diving tank, swam up to the big paddle. If you guys have never been to Disney before, there's a big boat and it's actually a restaurant. It's a paddle boat from back in the day. He swam up to the paddle fish restaurant, right? Climbed on, stole $5,000, put his wetsuit back on, jumped back in the lake, and swam away. And they still haven't caught him. It's straight out of a James Bond script.
Matt, like I've always said, Florida's a wonderful place, but you're always a block away from white trash.
Speaking of white trash, the U.S. Army doesn't want their soldiers looking like white trash anymore. What are your thoughts on their new policies here, Lou?
You want the truth? You can't handle the truth. You got to dress the part if you're going to be all you can be.
No, listen, honestly, I think it's actually a good thing. We should actually be out there and our army should be cohesive. Studies show when your team dresses together, right? They actually get along better. And in the army, it's just a giant team. And you have to know everyone has everyone's back and you don't have to worry about their purple. Oh my God, Lou, this last one I can't even believe, but it's actually kind of cool. Did you see what they're doing over in Ghana?
Man, funerals aren't just solemn affairs. They're showstoppers. Families are swapping plain wooden boxes for fantasy coffins shaped like fish, crabs, planes, lions, and tigers. Oh my. Colorful tribute to the life lived. Some get buried, others end up in museums, proving once again, in business and in death, branding matters. I kind of like this, Matt. I'm going to say the eulogy at your funeral, and yeah, I'm going to get you a branded funeral.
I want my coffin to be a tequila bottle.
I got that, buddy. I got that.
All right, everybody, that's a wrap of the weekly recap. We'll catch you next week. If you like what we said, if you like this new format, hit the link below or up in the bio. Let us know, argue with us, tell us we're fools, but we'll see you next week.
Hoorah!